Welcome everyone to the Rumi Recitations. Before I start with the next, verses from the erstwhile Masnavi and Manavi of Maulvi and Manavi, I will just give you a recall that in the previous, session we covered the the 40 stations, spiritual stations which the human soul, human ego, undergoes and experiences on its way to the spiritual perfection and spiritual completion before it, and then it reaches to a point of preparation, final preparation, and encounter of the divine light and encounter of the communion with the divine existence and divine being. So it is very important that you go through those stations and states and realize them and focus on them and try to understand them. And in order to understand them in detail, you can consult the Tawasin of Mansoor Hallaj. You can find other books in which you find references to different stations and states of the seeker of love, the wayfarer on the path of love, and they vary from different masters to masters depending upon their psychological experience, but there are certain commonalities which I have shared with you. And it is very important to understand the ideas and the meanings of the Masnavi, which Mevlana then goes on to explain how it works. Now, in today's session, I will recite two more verses from his Masnavi. He says, "Dudaha doreen goya hamchune yakdaha pinha ustudar labhoyu yakdaha nola shudo suwe shuma how dar fakanda dar sama." He says that every seeker, everyone has two mouths, two faces like the flute. Everybody has, every soul, every ego, human ego, every human soul has two mouths just like the flute. The flute has two, mouths or two faces. The one is, is hidden in the lips of the beloved. It is held by the beloved. And the other one is, is towards the viewer or the observer, crying. It is crying. It is, the voice is coming out of it, and the sky and the earth, are trembling with the cries and the moanings of this second mouth. But what is important, that the one part of the soul is connected with the divine part. One part of the human ego, human soul is connected with the divine part or the divine soul or the divine ego, the absolute soul or the absolute ego, which is God, which is Allah. And the other part is towards the world, is present in this world, the existence in this world. And Rumi says that whatever cries and moanings are coming out of the second mouth are in fact the outcomes of the first mouth, because a person cannot utter a word or cannot live a kind of existence without the divine protection, without the divine planning, and without the divine programming. So the one mouth which is in the lips and which is in the grip and the control of the divine power, that is, it is from that mouth that the second mouth, the human form, takes on its identity and tries to communicate to the world and tries to convey the experiences which it is receiving from the divine mouth. So the two mouths are interlinked, the external self, the external mouth, and the internal, which is connected with the divine and the spiritual, existence of a superior being, and the external and the inferior being and the material side of human being is also connected with that superior and pure, side. So what is coming out of man, human soul or human ego, is nothing but the reflection of the first mouth. It is nothing but the reflection of the divine existence and nothing but the a manifestation of divine power. So this is how Rumi, explains the moanings and the song of the flute in another, captivating and capturing metaphor. And he says that apparently man is in this world, but he is connected with the other world, with the garden of eternity, with the garden of immortality, which is the divine blessed light. Thank you very much for today. God bless you.